For generations, many Americans were told to go to school, get a job, buy a house, start a family, and work for decades, and hopefully you'll have enough money to retire. And what we're currently experiencing right now is that dream has turned into a nightmare. Collectively, many Americans are witnessing this right now, and they're seeing exactly that old model no longer fits. So what I believe is that old dream was never built properly. And we are living in the time period where we awaken. The truth is that while we know that many of us must quote unquote work because the system was set in place for us to live this 9 to 5 and go into this rat race and become a person that was about acquiring things. And so I believe that this old dream no longer fits because people have worked their way up the corporate ladder. They may have even reached a point to where they hit the top of the pay scale, and they're realizing that I did all this while in the process of doing this, I'm burnt out, I'm tired, I got here, and the money means nothing because I'm still searching for more. I still want more because this is not fulfilling. And I can speak from personal experience. I have had many jobs to where I thought once I get this job, I'm going to be good. Once I make it to this point, I'm going to be good. And I realized that that's not fulfilling me. I realized that that is fundamentally wrong because it's not built on a lifestyle of purpose. It's not built on a lifestyle of meaning. So what we're seeing is people are financially struggling. They're spiritually struggling. They're battling burnt out. They're battling the fact that they're just exhausted. They're tired. Their soul is tired. And on top of that, their mindset and their mental is completely off. So a lot of us are starting to voice our opinions. A lot of us want to quit. A lot of us want to give up. But I believe that we have a new American dream, and this is the foundation. So let's get the foundation right this time. I believe it starts with God's formation and eventually transitioning into building meaningful, purposeful work that is aligned with God's kingdom. So what do I mean by God's formation? That means that God is forming you and making you become that person that is aligned with His divine mission, His divine assignment, His divine purpose for your life, as opposed to you going whatever direction that you feel like or whatever direction that you've been, quote unquote, programmed into doing. So I think that old model, essentially, if we break it down, the majority of it was external, meaning that everything was outside of yourself. It was never about going within yourself and finding who you are first, finding your divine mission, your divine assignment, and truly taking time to allow yourself to align with God. Most of us, we need to start going within ourselves, and that is how it first starts. So I'm asking you, I think I ask myself all the time, who am I becoming, and what is God forming me and molding me into becoming for my future assignment, for my future mission? So I think this is difficult because this dream takes time in terms of us understanding ourselves. A lot of us don't know who we are. We just know programs. We know that we were told to go to school. We know that we were told to go to job. We know that we were told to start a family. But now as we see, these things are slowly collapsing, and men and women, we're having an identity crisis. We don't know who we are. We don't know what to do. We know we don't want to work. We know we're burnt out. We know we can't find a person to date because everything that was set into this system is now collapsing. And so now we have to redefine it. Now we have to start from the bottom and build that up. So you have to be solid on your foundation of who you are, and then things will start to truly become. And so when we're talking about purposeful work, I think the huge problem was the old dream, like I said, was about me, 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 me. I want the nice house. I want the nice car. I want to make more money. I can outshine you. I'm more successful than you. What is your status? What is your job? Which is why they created social media. And then it really just took off at that moment because everybody became narcissists the majority of the time on social media. Look at my nice house. Look at my nice car. I'm posting all the wins. I'm never posting my losses. So we have lost this fundamental concept of using our knowledge, of using our wisdom, and truly going within ourselves and being satisfied with what we were given and being grateful. A lot of us lost gratitude. A lot of us lost the ability to go into silence, to go into meditation and ask God to come into my life and give me the wisdom and the intelligence so now I can build. So like I said, if this was about money, then many people would be happy. And we see many people aren't happy because they have a decent amount of money, but they're still searching for more. So now we have to get to a point to where we know that we're doing things that is about the collective. So when I ask you building meaningful, purposeful work, what I want to ask you is, can you do things outside of yourself? We start to think about the collective. We start thinking about the greater good because as we see, many of us are struggling. Many of us are hurting, but most people don't care. Most people just care about themselves. So now this is the transition. The new dream will require us to develop new perception, a new found awareness of how we will move. So let's break this down even further. Number one, we have to understand discernment. So guys, with technology rapidly expanding, and we know there can be so many different illusions, right? If we go on social media, many people are putting on filters and they're putting on this facade. So discernment now must become our foundation, meaning we have to be able to embrace truth. We have to be able to go in within ourselves, find our spirit, and gauge what's right. Because as technology increases, there's going to be a lot of things that most people won't be able to discern what's true and what's not, what's the illusion and what's not, especially because AI is rapidly increasing. So we have to start beginning to understand the real from the fake. I want us to get to a point to now we start resonating with the truth frequency, because if you're being your authentic self, then we will start understanding that we don't have to fall victim to believing that you define how I look, you define how I become, because many women were told that you have to put on all this makeup, that you have to get this BBLs, that you have to look like a certain model, and you have to be so skinny as the Victoria's Secret model, and that's beauty. But we have to start redefining that. We have to start understanding that we make the rules collectively. It's always been that way. That's how people adopt new mindsets, new paradigms. They give them to the collective, and whoever can program them more will be the winner in terms of them adopting what is the collective truth. So now we start with discernment. Number two is, while we're building discernment with God and we're going with God, we have to build courage. There's a reason why throughout the Bible, God is always saying, be strong and courageous. And so when we're having courage, it's not going to be easy to build. It's going to be difficult, but we have to embrace the fact that we will still show up. We will have discipline, and we will understand, going into the third one, faith. Faith and courage, I believe, has to go hand in hand, because when you're building, you're going to encounter many things that are going to try to stop you. There's going to be fear. There's going to be doubt. There's going to be worry. There's going to be the security, which is why many of us are still clinging on to that old American dream, because to build the new American dream is scary because you don't have no security no more. It means you might have to be called to move your spot, move wherever you're at. You have to pick up and move sometimes. You have to move the way your mind is set is too, right? Because a lot of us don't want to move that. You want to stay in, this is my identity, and I'm not destroying it. What I want you guys to start doing now is destroying that and moving with God. So when God tells you to move, you have to be obedient. You have to have that faith, and you have to have the courage to say, you know what, God, I will accept the challenge and I will build what you're calling me to build. Number four is integrity, right? We have to be the communities now that when God is showing us that we have to build together. We have to show up for each other. I can't let you down. What this partly means is you have to be an individual that can be accountable, and you have to start accepting responsibility. So we need to silence our ego. Men, we need to become leaders, and we have to understand leadership so that women can follow us. And women, we have to start understanding that there are certain men that want to lead you, and you have to be willing for that to happen. And I know sometimes it's difficult because not too many men are leaders. But if we can start working with each other as opposed to always destroying each other and telling everybody right now, what I've noticed is they're quick to tell each other their negatives, right? As opposed to saying, you know what? I'm going to start off with some positivities. I'm going to start off with what you're doing right. But at the same time, we're going to work on our weaknesses too. So it's about developing the strengths and the weaknesses together. And I think if we can start at that point, we can start understanding how to have integrity and being honorable, having trust, because this is partly how we will build the new dream, which is collectively goes into the next one. Number 5 is tribe. Without tribe, we will never build God's kingdom. There's a reason why there is a us. There's a reason why it's collective. There's a reason why it's humans. It's not just me. It's not just one person. And so when we're talking about tribal unity, this is the structure. This is unity in full alignment if we can allow ourselves to truly trust God's plan and truly humble ourselves, right? I believe a lot of that is about humility. I will serve you. I will try to solve your problems. Men have a difficult time saying that, especially if men is trying to build with men. And women have a difficult time, especially right now. They don't want to serve men because they've been, a lot of times it's just about trauma. Women have been hurt, men been hurt. And so men have gotten to a position to where they can get power and they can abuse the power, which is why I say we have to understand how to put God first when we're in a tribe. If there's a king, that king should have the ability to go down on the front line with his soldiers and go to war when the time comes, but also be a man that can understand what women are saying, being able to hear them and being able to understand them. More importantly, there's a reason why I think understanding it's missing right now. Many men don't understand women collectively, and many women don't understand men. And just as general humans, we're not understanding what God is telling us to do. So I believe if we can move in unison as opposed to division, this will allow us to start building together. Because if we can do it together, there's power in numbers. Because if I have faith and you have a vision and I have another man that can take action, us three, we can truly develop something that cannot be stopped. But if we're all separate trying to build things, which we're seeing right now, what are we experiencing? Loneliness, sadness, depression, anxiety, anger. And many of us want to crash out because we're like, man, I can't keep doing this alone. I'm struggling. As opposed to if you had 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people that would help you. We have to get back to this community mindset. We are tribal by nature. Now, let's be very, very, very clear. If you take a look around, the majority of men and women have stopped dreaming. All they are currently experiencing is survival mode. They are stuck, they are lost, and more importantly, they are hopeless. So this new dream is about restoring the ability to leave a legacy and, more importantly, giving hope for the future generations. So what we need to start understanding is hope is a powerful thing. When we can collectively see a way out, it gives you this fuel. It gives you that ability to light that fire. And once it's lit, it's like a wildfire. I inspire you, you inspire them, and then we cannot be stopped. But we have to first get to the moment to where we can see the bigger vision. Most of us don't have the vision. Most of us don't have the dream. And so what I want you guys to start doing is understanding the only way to get to the point to where you can truly ignite that fire is by allowing God to shape you and mold you, and surrendering and saying, God, use me as that willing vessel. Use me so that it's not just about me, so that I can help them. That's what leaving a legacy is all about. Once you understand that I'm serving the greater good, more importantly, I'm building God's kingdom and I'm serving the kingdom. Now you can be a willing soldier that will go out in the front lines, understand the battle, put my pride to the side, which is a big one. We have to put the pride to the side because we're a lot of times hopeless because we feel like I try to do it all myself. It was just me. Nobody helped me out and I can't do it no more. So I quit. I don't want to see you win. Then we become jealous. Then we become envious. But this is the shift. This is the transition right now. We are restoring this because this is about our future children, right? They need to look up and see that there is still a chosen select few, the elect of God, that rose up, accepted the challenge, put their pride to the side, walked in unity, and understood that we will build, we will rise. This is the moment. This is the time. You are being activated. You are aware. You are walking the path. And I want you to join me on the path. I want you to build the kingdom with me. Join the community. This is a daily process of understanding discipline, understanding faith, understanding tribes, understanding community, and walking with God. Choosing the spirit over flesh daily. Let's build, brothers and sisters. All praise to the Most High. If this helped you, leave a comment, share this message. Let's get the word out that God's soldiers are building. Peace.